Hello everyone, James Green here with EFI Fiery, bringing you another quick video about this topic. Really is about some features in FS400, the Fiery System 400 platform. Um, so if you've been a Fiery user in the past, you'll know that we have the system level Fiery, and every Fiery we have has a system level, and we're launching FS400 with several partners. And I just wanted to give you some insight on one of the features in FS400 that should uh, make you pretty excited. There's a lot of exciting stuff in FS400. I'm not going to cover all that in here. What I really wanted to talk about particularly was this auto recovery feature. So, we built in a tool now inside the Fiery to do some things automatically to monitor the health and uptime percentage of a Fiery. And Fiery Auto Recovery is one of those. So basically, it's an agent that's running in the background. And what the purpose of this agent is looks a little bit like this. When the agent monitors that there's an error condition, it will immediately go into this recovery mode. Now, keep in mind, this recovery runs in the background. So if the user is actually on the Fiery or in Command Workstation and a workstation or on the Fiery, it may not become obvious to them that auto recovery is in process because it launches in web tools. So unless they have web tools open, they may not see this. That condition may change in the future where it does pop up and alert them. But just so you know that auto recovery happens in the background. It doesn't require the user to do anything until it gets to a certain point. But what it'll do is when it notices there's an error, the first thing it's going to do is it's automatically going to restart the Fiery software. So again, if your user is using the Fiery and we restart the Fiery software, obviously it's going to interrupt their printing. But most likely if there's an error that requires the reboot of the Fiery software, they're not going to be successfully printing anyway. If the error condition still persists after the software is rebooted, it will automatically perform a full system reboot. So it's going to reboot the entire Fiery controller itself. Then it'll look at the condition and hopefully it's back up and idle. However, in the case where that didn't solve the problem, right, it will go to another level of recovery. And in this level of recovery, it is going to require the user to intervene. It's going to ask this question. Right now, I'm having a problem. Do you want me to restart the Fiery server, or would you like me to restore from a backup? That's the question it's going to ask the user to do. So if we just go with the restart the Fiery server, the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to look at patches that were installed before this Fiery went into the error condition, because maybe it was a patch that was installed that caused the problem. So if that's the case, it's going to say, hey, let's roll back the Fiery to the latest level it was at before this problem existed. So kind of like how Windows works, Windows recovery, right? We can roll it back to a previous working condition. Then it'll do a reboot. If the error condition still exists after we roll back the patch and we reboot, we're going to clear the job data queue. So we're going to clear all the queues, then we're going to do a server reboot. All right. If none of that works, we're back at this screen where it says, oop, none of that worked. Your only option is to restore from a backup. So this kind of makes the whole backup conversation that I've been having with service across the country very important. If we're not doing backups and we're in an auto recovery mode, we're giving the customer no option now. One of the things we added to the Fiery auto recovery also is a place that during these types of error conditions, when you're working with somebody either at your OEM second level support or Fiery Direct, we're always asking for things like the config page and the error logs, and there's a lot of steps to capturing that. Well, now inside of the recovery, when it gets to that point, you'll notice that we've allowed for all of that information we typically ask for to be done in one place. If they click on this link, it will capture all of the logs, the config page, everything that we would want in a nice zip file that you can send to whoever's asking for it. So real quick, Again, there's a lot more in FS400 than just this feature, but I wanted to point this feature out because I think when it comes to reliability and uptime, it's important to know that we have this feature in FS400 and it's going to do the work in the background. All right, so have fun, guys. Let me know if you need something. Thanks.